Hey everyone, this week on the Asian American Spotlight, I want to talk about Grace Park and Daniel Dae-Kim. If you hadn't heard the news, they recently announced that they were both going to walk away from Season 8 of Hawaii Five-0. This is after spending 7 years on this show. 7 seasons where they've been half of the main characters on this show. And it's because they couldn't come to an agreement with the producers on their deal. And it's easy to think, oh, they're just being greedy, but it's because they wanted equal pay. And this is a tough thing. Like, they've been on the show since the beginning. They love the show. They love living in Hawaii, I'm sure. They've probably fallen in love with the characters. And they're just as important to the show as the other two guys that have been on the show since the beginning. They've all been it the same amount of time. They're all just as important to the story, to the show. And they just thought that they should be paid the same. But instead, they get final offers of reportedly 10 to 15% less than the other two actors. And that sucks. That stinks. Because everything else is equal. Why can't they be compensated the same? And there's a lot of things to go into that. But this really reminds me of when I used to audition for a lot of things that I wish I didn't have to audition for. But there were these characters that I just hated, that I didn't want to do. I'm like, do I try out for these roles? Do I take this role that perpetuates the stereotype that I just don't want out there? That I don't want infecting the minds of other people? But then I think, well, if I don't do it, someone else is going to do it. And I need the money because I got to pay the rent. I got to survive, all that stuff. But at the same time, I also want that artistic integrity, and I don't want to do these shitty things. What do you do? It's tough. On this level, there's even more at stake. How do you walk away from that? It's so tough. And Grace and Daniel, they're both like at the upper echelons of Asian American entertainers, actors, artists, and it's tough to see that even they can't have that equality that we're looking for. So this week, I just want to send a big shout out, kudos to those two. And I hope that I'm sure they have a ton of projects that they're doing. I hope they do a couple of movies, because I would totally support the movies and watch it in theaters. And yeah, we need people paving the way, and it's a tough move that both of them made. And so I take my figurative hat off to them, and please, everyone, show your support. I don't think Grace has a Twitter, but Daniel does, and for future projects, I'll talk about it for sure, but keep an eye out for what they're gonna be doing next, because they're gonna be doing something, because they're not doing Season 8 of Hawaii Five-0. It's so sad. They've been doing it for so long, and they're just like that expendable. It's like, oh, okay, we can't pay you 10-15% more. Can't. Anyways, this isn't a rant. That was a really hard move that you had to make, but I understand why you did it, and I totally support you, and I really wish that if I were in that same position, I could do the same thing. Can't say that I can, but kudos to them for being able to do that. Yeah, that's it. I'll see y'all next week.